Hi, everyone. I'm Denise O'Malley. I'm the founder of You Define Wellness, and welcome to another edition of the Defining Wellness Author Series. If you've been following this at all, then you know what we're doing is introducing you to some of the You Define Wellness Network providers who are authors and have put out a book on health and wellness topics. And today I have the distinct pleasure to introduce you to Mary Dravis-Parrish. And Mary, thank you so much for joining me today.
It is my pleasure to be here, Denise. Thank you.
Oh, so glad that to talk about parenting, because as I'm surrounded by kids today, maybe you can help me with a few ideas too. But you have written the book, you have authored the book, Empowered Parents, Empowering Kids, a guide to Be You Parenting. And I am excited to hear about this and learn more about the book. But can you give us a little bit of a synopsis of what it's about?
So, Empowered Parents, Empowering Kids came out of my own parenting experience. I first became a parent when I was 17 and, of course, knew nothing, but thought I knew everything, right?
Right.
Um, and what I learned through my own parenting experience was as parents, we just kind of tend to model after our parents, whether that's we're going to do exactly what they did or we're going to do exactly what they didn't do, all of that. And in that scenario, whichever road you take, there's nothing about being you. It's about being someone else or not being someone else.
Hmm.
And what I found in that was when I took myself out of the equation, I didn't know what was true for me. And I didn't know how to find out what was really true for my kids and what would really work for them. And I see parenting as a relationship that can truly empower us to be more than we ever thought we could be if we're willing to go there. And sometimes life presents those moments or those experiences that force us into that space,
Mhm.
which was my case. After my son died by suicide, I really questioned what it meant to, well, what it meant to even be here,
Yeah.
but even more so, what it really meant to be a parent, because I felt like I'd really failed. I took on a lot of guilt, um, you know, and
Mm.
and I think that in a lot of situations, it doesn't have to go to that scale, but parents feel that way. They feel like I've done damage to my kids, or I've failed them, or they haven't turned out the way I thought they would. And so this whole journey of being you
Mhm.
has opened me up to recognizing what my part is as a parent, what
Mhm.
I truly like to be for my kids that in my younger years of parenting, I wasn't able to be because I was just following everybody else's rules. And that opened me up to just like showing up in a whole different way. And the book is about getting you to where you can be you. It's not a how-to parent book, really. I mean, there are lots of suggestions and ideas, but it's really to get you to know what you know about you and what you know about your kids so that you can trust yourself. And you can trust when experts tell you things, you can trust whether you can question that and you can say, well, would that really work for me? Would
Mhm.
that work for my child? And you can go into your own inner knowing of what you do know about things.
So take us on a journey of this book. You've given us a really good overview, and I'm intrigued when you said the comment, trusting what you know about your kids, or something to that effect. And that I've never heard that said where parenting is concerned. So it just kind of surprises me. But take us through a journey of the book. So is it chapters on like stress, or is it stories, or how do you have it laid out?
So it starts off with parenting is an adventure. So we're going to take an adventure. So this is about a journey. And along the journey, you have a backpack and you get to put different tools in it. So I give you different tools.
Okay.
But it starts off with identifying why did you become a parent? What do you think parenting is about? And really getting to that question. And I share my own story of, you know, I don't think I was really cognitive of it, but when I became pregnant at 17, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
And I was scared. I was really scared to go forward into college and into that. The one thing I felt I knew was I would be a mom.
Mm.
And so I set it up.
Mhm.
So I would not have to deal with any of that, and I would just go forward being a mom. Um, I didn't get that awareness till years later. But here's the thing about knowing is once I came into that awareness, I knew without a doubt that was true. I knew it. I just knew it. I didn't have to make sense of it, but I knew it at a very core level that my fear was so intense about going forward for my future that this was my only way out.
Oh, wow. And
Yeah.
you had that reasoning at 17 years old. Oh my gosh.
Well, I didn't realize it,
Yeah. Okay.
but because of how I perceived my life and my limitations about what I thought I could do and my beliefs about myself, I thought that was the only, that was the only road for me. I knew that would be my future at some point. So let's just do that because, and apparently I had a son who was willing to come in and do that for me. So, it's coming into those awarenesses and asking some deep questions about what does parenting really mean to you? What is it that you want to be for your kids? Looking at how you were parented,
Mhm.
what were the things that you want to keep? What are the things that didn't work for you, but not in a way of making your parents right or wrong, but really coming into this awareness. So that's how the book starts off. And
Mhm.
that is a huge awareness. And then from there are different chapters about how to deal with worry and fear, what to do when your buttons are pushed, how to motivate
Mhm.
through acknowledgement. And all of these tools are best applied when you apply them to yourself, and
Mhm.
then you can apply them to your kids. How to be in that curiosity. How do you know that you know what's right for your kids?
Right.
Like, lots of parents say, I know I'm supposed to know, but I don't know. And so how do
Why
you
do we do that?
acknowledge, yeah, how do you acknowledge that knowing and tap into your intuition of what you do know?
Mhm.
And there are ways in our bodies and, energy, all of that. So I introduce that to people and, just give lots of tools for then you can apply this to your life and how you want it to look. So it's not about telling you what your parent I'd love for parents to be more creative
Yes.
to we don't have to have dinner at 6 o'clock every night just because that's what we did when I was a kid. And then you look at, well, how did that really work, and did that honor everyone, and what can we do different, and really breaking the paradigm of what parenting has to look like.
So this sounds like it's a book that should be given to every parent in the maternity ward.
It's a good place to start. What I find and is that most parents who are expecting
Mhm.
are not thinking a whole lot about how they're going to parent,
Right.
which is interesting because the first 5 years are the most crucial
Right.
in developing our belief systems. They're worried about, am I going to have the right, what's my birth going to be like? You know, what am I doing to take care of my baby in vitro? Do we have everything we need so when it shows up? I mean, there's a lot of that. Um, Not as much preparing about what does it mean to be a parent? Um, and so, yes, I would love for more expecting parents to get this. But I also want parents to know that no matter how old your kids are,
Mhm.
I didn't come into this till my kids were in high school and adulthood. And so, there was a lot of like, oh my gosh, awareness around things that I had projected onto them, that I had told them was real and true, when it was like, okay, well, let's backtrack a little bit and let's just start asking some questions. It's never too late
Mhm.
because and the thing is, because this is about you. And when you empower you and when you step into the greatness of you and let go of all the stuff that's been limiting you and that you've held in judgment of yourself, you're going to show up different and your kids are going to see you different. It's that whole thing that when we really be ourselves, we do change the world around us.
Now, do you do workshops around this book at all?
I used to do book studies.
Mhm.
What I'm currently doing with my workshops is I've taken the core elements of the book, which are what I call the ABCs,
Mhm.
and I do an ABC um, class ABCs for Empowering Kids. And then I've also strictly for adults who are working on themselves, and it can be parents or individuals who aren't parents. I do Activate Your Power. So I bring the same tools that are in the book into those classes.
It sounds like this would be a terrific book for parents to use in their own, creating their own books, studies, and or book clubs, whatever it is, to form little support groups that way and work through the group together, or work through the book together.
Yes, and if they do that, I would invite them to reach out to me, and I would love to be a guest appearance in their book study and
Oh,
offer some added insights. I've done this in the past. I had a group in Holland, actually, of women who were doing this as a book study, and I showed up every week to just kind of give some highlights and answer questions. So I love to play in that way. So people who want to really take this further and deepen their relationship with themselves, and then how they can show up as a better parent, I'm all for that.
that's a terrific offer. Thank you very much. I hope people watching this decide this is exactly what they want to do, and bring together some of those parents, because in my perspective, and it could be completely wrong, we think everybody else has it all together, and that we're the ones that are all messed up and that we're doing it wrong. And the fact of the matter is I think we all have a little bit of fear, and we could all use that opportunity to be in conversation and say, oh, you too? We get some of that on Facebook and social media when you post something about your kids, and other people are responding, and that's one of the powerful things about it. But I think doing it as a study group would be fantastic.
And I think it's a great way, because of social media and our lives the way they are these days, there's not as much connection,
Mhm.
which I think is why in-person book studies are so popular, because it gives women especially a chance to get together and be there and have that sisterhood, motherhood, those sharings. But to come together with a book like this, that really, in a safe space, you get to really explore who you are in a safe space, because when we can bring it out into the light, it's really not as scary.
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
it's making that movement of being able to say, that's what I've been doing, okay, now I can change that.
right. Right. Oh, I'm so glad we went that direction in this conversation, because I think that's such an exciting opportunity. So how long ago did you write this book?
The book came out in 2015.
Okay, a couple of years.
So it's been a little while, and it continues to grow. It's out there worldwide, globally, like in all the countries. um, I would love to have the funding to have it put into different languages. That's on my
Your wish list.
moving forward list. But yeah, and those who are listening, you can go to buparenting.com, and there's a free offer, and you can download the first 3 chapters by audio to get an introduction to it.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. And I'm going to share all that with you guys in just a moment here. Where do they order the book?
So easiest, Amazon is
Okay.
the easiest. Barnes and Noble, though, also carries it. You can go to my website, buparenting.com. It's published through Access Consciousness, and so if you are affiliated or want to go to their shop, they have it. That's at accessconsciousness.com.
Awesome. So what more would you like to add to this? We've covered a lot, and I'm excited about your book. I really am.
Um, you know, I have my book, and I refer to my book. So, because I authored it, it wasn't just me authoring this.
Mhm.
So I want people to know that I don't have this perfectly. There is no perfect parenting. I really want people to understand that this is about the adventure and the journey and the process of becoming more of you. And in that process, there's this benefit that you give to your kids. And
Mhm.
so the value of you in this relationship is so huge. And to make that switch over from always focusing on what's going on for your kids, stop and ask, what's going on for me in this situation or this experience? And that's going to open up lots of information for you. I mean, I'm excited when people write me and say, your book changed my life.
Oh my gosh.
And okay, so when, when you give your book to your family,
Right. Okay. I get
but
it.
here's the greatest story in that. My cousin, who we're the same age, we're very close. She told me her mom read my book, so my aunt, and she said the thing she loved most about the book, I mean, she got lots out of it. And she was reading this as a grandma,
Hmm.
that um, the sentence that said, "You're doing the best you can right now," gave her so much relief because she had judged herself for so long about how her kids had turned out and the struggles that they went through. And,
Yeah.
being able to identify our kids are going to go through struggles and they're their struggles. And
Hmm.
how do we want to be there for that? And recognizing the value of that. Um, that there's something in there for everyone if you're drawn to pick up this book.
Mm. And
At
I think
least one thing, if not a lot more.
I'm excited to read it myself. And for those who are watching, no, I haven't read these because I really want to hear from the author before we do. So I'm just like you, okay? I'm motivated to pick it up because I think from what you've shared, there are some wonderful nuggets of great information, actually probably boulders, not nuggets. And I'm looking forward to it. So for everyone watching this, I'm sharing with you, again, this is what the book looks like. And you can contact Mary. Here's her website and her phone number. If you want to work with Mary, she does coaching and counseling. And so pick up the phone, give her a call, go to her website, learn more about it. And if you do decide to do a study group with her book, please reach out to her and take advantage of that offer to have her be a guest at your group. And with technology, doesn't matter where you are located. She can reach out to you just as I am doing this call with her, and we're in 2 different cities right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so Mary, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
This was great, and I'm so glad to hear about this book. I mean, I see so many of these. We've got a lot of authors in our group at You Define Wellness, and I see the books, and there's so many of them. I haven't had the opportunity to pick them all up and read them, and that's why I wanted to do this series, is to learn more about it, get excited about it, so I can be talking about it out there and picking it up and being a better parent myself.
Yay.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
thank you. And for all of you watching, thank you. I'm going to assume you found this on YouTube or perhaps on our website at youdefinewellness.com. We have more than 70 videos available for you as you're going on your wellness journey. And you can find out from the experts about different modalities, the things that they do, the coaching, the books. We have a lot more that we're going to be adding over the course of the next year. And so I encourage you to go to YouTube and to find our channel. Just put You Define Wellness in the search bar and you will find it. Or go to our website. We have them all listed there as well. So with that being said, thank you all. And we hope to see you all on another video soon. And my mouse is not letting me